Good morning. I want to speak on something that has been playing around in my mind for a while now, and that is the concept of compromise and how disempowering it is, um, how it destroys creativity and it closes doors, um, which, at least in my experience, has stopped me from reaching my full potential. I want to talk about my experiences as a traveler and where I've gone wrong a little bit. So, a couple of years ago, I decided that I wanted to try and make this into a lifestyle. And my instinct was that I wanted to come back to India, which is where I am now, or possibly explore somewhere adventurous and exciting. But I didn't believe that I'd be able to get the money together to be able to do an extended trip. Uh, Even in a third world country, in the amount of time that I had, I didn't believe in my own abilities to gather resources and work extra hard for the little bit of time it takes to put some money together. And so I decided that the rational idea would be to go to Australia, where I can take a working holiday visa. And I'm not even saying that Australia is a bad place to be. I actually think it's a beautiful country, but for me, it wasn't where I actually wanted to be. And I chose to be there out of fear, out of scarcity, as it were. Because I knew that I could get a job and I could support myself. I also felt that being in a country that spoke English as its mother tongue would be more comfortable and easier. But because it wasn't my true heart's calling to be there, I found that I spent a lot of time floundering and not really knowing what I was doing with myself. I'd moved between. I spent a lot of time in Byron Bay, just chilling out and spending money, which was good fun, but like it didn't really get me anywhere. And then I just moved from job to job, either having plenty of income or literally nothing, and living in a state of feast or famine, basically. And although I met some great people and I made some good friends, they weren't the people I considered to be my soul family. If that makes sense. I mean, that's a bit of a woo-woo concept, isn't it? But what I mean is that later on from that, on my way home to the UK after Australia, I chose to go to Israel to do workaway in the Israeli desert on a spiritual community, right? And it's always been something in my heart has called me towards spirituality, the divine, the bigger picture. And I found that in Australia, obviously, most of the people there, at least a great proportion of people, they weren't traveling with that aim in mind, with that vibration, with that ideal of how to live their lives. They tend to be more hedonistic consumer types. And this, again, this isn't me judging, this is just me saying that there is a certain kind of people that I resonate with. There is a certain environment that I resonate with. And I found that by moving towards that, I had almost more fulfillment out of those 3 weeks in Israel than I had in most of the year I spent in Australia. And since then I looked at my traveling journey differently, and I chose to go to India and I set a date, and from there I just found a way to get the money together, because the date was set and my heart was set on this task, this goal to go to India, and more broadly to go to India and to learn yoga and practice yoga in an environment where I'm supported in that. And it sounds like a bit of a crazy plan, because it's like, well, what are you gonna do with that, Joe? Are you gonna be a yoga instructor? Maybe, but it's certainly not the secure path. But it's led me to a sense of great freedom, exploration. I'm doing these videos now, which is something that I wanted to do for years, but I couldn't feel the ability to express it. And I found that the more that I follow my intuition and then just use my intellect and my thinking capacity to make that vision a reality, rather than compromising the vision and trying to take the safe route, I think has been definitely the right move, and it's definitely the way I'm going to keep going into the future. So I challenge you to think about, where in life have you been compromising? Is there a possible choice between two careers? Is there a relationship you've been staying in for too long because it's comfortable? Is there things you haven't been saying to people that you know in your heart that you need to express because it's easier? Just food for thought. Take from it what you want. But I've found that in this limited lifespan that we have, there's no time for compromise. Alright, thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.